Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, otherwise known as the Ash Building, was owned by Max Blanc and Isaac Harris and designed by John Woolley. Just like the workers, Blanc and Harris were Jewish immigrants who had come to the United States for a better life in the 1890s. Harris had worked in immigrant sweatshops and knew that his skills would become handy. He also became familiar with the current fashion trends going around at the time. Harris decided that at the age of 25, he would marry a fellow Russian immigrant. Ironically, the Russian immigrant's cousin was married to Isaac Harris, and the men were finally able to meet in the late 1890s. Harris and Blanc agreed that with Harris knowing of the industry and Blanc having business experience, they would open a shop and call it the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Together, they started out in 1902 by just using the 9th floor, and if business went well, more floors could be purchased. To increase productivity and minimize conversations among workers, Harris designed a layout that would achieve just that. They priced their shirtwaist at a humble $3, hoping it would remove possible competition. Knowing they still needed to do more in order to get rid of all competition, they created another plan to produce the cheapest shirtwaist at the largest quantity. It would be excellent business, but the employees became unsatisfied with the tiring work hours and low pay. In 1906, however, both men knew business was doing well and expanded onto the 8th floor. Following the 8th floor, in 1908, sales hit $1 million and the men bought the 10th floor. Earning the nickname Shirtwaist Kings, the men began living a quite posh life. From small, cramped apartments, the men moved to large brownstones that included a breathtaking view of the Hudson River. Each man also bought servants, Harris having 4 and Blanc having 5. Life was well for the two owners, beginning to buy separate businesses, but not necessarily to the employees helping the business flourish. In 1909, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory workers went on strike. Both men said they considered the strike a personal attack, since they had in fact worked in a sweatshop before. The men went as far as to hire policemen and thugs that would beat, berate, and cause chaos among the women. The strike continued to 1910 and was starting to make an impact on the workers. The profit was going down, and for that reason the two men made a deal to have shorter hours and higher pay. About the fire. On March 25, 1911, a fire broke out on the 8th floor of the factory. The two owners, being on the 10th floor, were alerted immediately and rushed to safety by climbing on neighboring rooftops. The fire started on the 8th floor by a match that was lit and dropped. With the little space each of the workers had, it was very hard to escape. Since the owners had kept the doors locked even from the inside, the workers were trapped. Another big red flag was the fire escape, which was broken and not working on that day. Many people in a crowd below yelled, "Don't jump!" But unfortunately, many workers leapt off the building to their death. The building was fireproof, and when it ended, there was little sign that the fire had even occurred. The inside of the building was a different story, destroyed and burned completely. 146 people died on that tragic day.
If workers' rights had been of a higher importance in the early 1900s in America, could the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, along with many other workplace incidents, have been prevented? Possibly so. But at this point in U.S. history, the government did not feel that it was their place to be able to tell the owners of businesses what their rules could be and to be able to make laws against what was right and what was wrong in business places. These workers had rights to be in a safe environment and to have fair pay, but the workers at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory had neither. It should have been the government's responsibility to take care and protect them from being treated unfairly, but the government did nothing about it until after the tragic fire that occurred. A few months after the Triangle Shirtwaist fire, the government finally began making laws to protect workers' rights, and especially those who worked in sweatshops such as the Triangle Shirtwaist factory. As you can see, the Triangle Shirtwaist factory fire was an event that played a major role and had a major impact on workers' rights in the earlier U.S. history. But it is an event that not many people know about.